The last few weeks have been a very good and humbling reminder of why I build income online the way that I do. I am going to share with you a real life example of how passive income is truly possible by sharing with you some of the crazy vulnerable things that have gone on the last few weeks and how I was able to continue to make money even when I wasn't able to show up online. Jesus, I will sing your praises forevermore. There are so many people telling you you can make passive income like this and like this and like this, but oftentimes not showing you the realistic, real world example of it. So we are going to work backwards from my crazy little story, and I'm going to share with you all of the foundations and structures that I've put into place that helped create the situation that made me online income in the last few weeks when I was doing a million other things other than being able to work. Now, I teach to be prepared for the unexpected, especially in the beginning of your journey. You want to be batching content. You want to be prepared for what you can't see around the bend, especially in the beginning of your journey, so that you don't have big gaps in your content and you don't throw off your algorithm and your audience. However, when all of this craziness befell me, even though I do have my backup plan, I decided not to post on purpose so that when the craziness began to simmer on down, I could come back here and actually show that these foundations work even without the backup plan, when all of these things, these systems are in place, and show the real passive income that I was able to make even without posting. Now let's talk about what has been going on the last few weeks. And this is actually really hard for me. I am a private person. Despite being on the verge of having 5 YouTube channels, I am in fact a private person. And there are certain parts of my life I just don't share a lot, but for the purposes of me wanting you to see how real this actually is, I'm going to let you in on a little bit of it. Excuse me. Cue the lingering coughs. That is a perfect place for us to begin. We were going a little bit crazy trying to get our house ready for the market because we are moving. We had the very sudden opportunity come across our desk of an answered prayer that we have been praying for 7 years for a family compound with my parents. And so we realized we were moving. This was the time we needed to get the house on the market. So we kind of had a big crunch, a big rush where we had to do a whole lot of painting and fixing things and staining and just making everything as presentable as possible. There was a few days of a heat wave. I happened to be very heat sensitive. I was doing stuff over my head, freshening up the ceilings. We were both just at it every single day, all day long. We also had a handyman here during that time fixing a few things for us in the bathroom. So I was feeling a little bit run down. I was sore. I was stressed. If you guys don't know, I have stage 4 endometriosis. I've had endometriosis since I was 12 years old, and I have been on a healing journey, and I've seen so much restoration. But basically, endometriosis is a full body disease that you have to continually be holistically addressing. And so different things can cause flare-ups. Now there are minor flare-ups and there are major flare-ups, and I'm really thankful that through my healing journey I haven't had a major flare-up for years, like one that was really extreme and debilitating. But alas, the perfect storm came my way. So I was worn out, I was hot, I was sore, everything was starting to hurt. The handyman had a lingering cough. Friends, I don't get sick very often. I used to get sick all the time. I don't get sick very often. Even sometimes when my husband has colds, I don't get them. But alas, the lingering cough that the handyman brought into the house, I ended up getting very sick. I don't know if it was the flu. I don't know if it was the C word. Thankfully, James didn't get it. But because I was run down, I got that. Now, this is going to be TMI for some people, but I'm really trying to let you in on what knocked me out and why I wasn't able to post. 4 days into this flu, I got my monthly cycle. Now, if you don't understand what it's like to get a monthly cycle with endometriosis when you have the flu, it is kind of an out-of-body experience. Now, the storm of already being physically exhausted from getting the house ready, getting this flu C-word thing, getting my monthly cycle, my body decided, I think we're gonna have the worst endometriosis flare-up that you've had in like 4 years. Debilitating pain, okay? Nerve pain, muscle pain, skin pain. I truly felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. I had been doing everything you could possibly imagine holistically, and I'm coming around. But I could have implemented my backup plan. Like I said, I'm gonna ride this thing out and I'm gonna see what happens with the income in the interim. Because also, right in the middle of this, there's a lot of transitions going on, okay? The moving, and then of course this happened. And my husband is coming home to work for our home-based business. Major job transition. And I wasn't able to do my regular work. So, you know what? Praise God that He gives us opportunities to remember that it's really all Him, and not to idolize our own effort and our own ability, and to trust in Him with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding, but in all our ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct our paths. My healer, provider, savior, and king. So, what were the results? Well, I made approximately $1,800 from my Amazon book sales in that period of time. I made a little bit over $2,000 from my courses and digital downloads in that time. And I made somewhere in the vicinity of $1,600 in YouTube AdSense, even though I wasn't able to post any YouTube videos on either of my channels. I also had about $400 of affiliate income come in during the last 3 weeks, and I had $2,300 in brand deals come in. So while I was laid out having an out-of-body experience, I was making a full-time income without posting a single thing that was generating any new income. So let's talk about the systems and the foundations that I have in place. With no special marketing expertise or business expertise or tech expertise, just by the grace of the wisdom of Almighty God and Him helping me connect the dots and learning these systems and foundations, creating that ecosystem that I like to call it, that was able to generate that type of income while I was laid out. And you know what? That is true passive income. That is not a gimmick. That is not some fleeting thing. And that is beautiful. If you have seen or not seen my Make Quiet Income from Home video, that might really resonate with you when I tell a little bit of my testimony of how I always knew that I needed to figure out how to work for myself, how I always knew that I wanted to create an income. I just believed in my heart that it was possible to create an income where I could have the values in place of the life that I wanted for myself, and the life that I knew that I needed to create in order to help my nervous system heal, and in order to create an environment and an atmosphere around me where my body could begin to heal, and I could have the time I want to take care of the people that I love, and to cook nourishing meals and to do those things. So if you're like me and that resonates with you, you might really enjoy that video as well, and I'll link that in the description box. The reality is that even though I wasn't generating anything new, the work that I put in and the systems that I put into place, the products were still generating income, because there are hubs like YouTube that I have created an ecosystem of community in that continue to nurture the community even on weeks when I can't necessarily show up in the same way. And that's why I've talked before about the difference between social media platforms and search-based platforms like Pinterest, like YouTube, and like many, many blog websites. Many times those searchable platforms, the shelf life of your content is going to be a lot longer. And social media, though there are some people that make great affiliate income and things like that on social media, that media tends to have a short shelf life. And if you're not utilizing social media to sell things like a download or a course or create an email list or bring people to a blog post or utilize affiliate marketing, the platforms, the social platforms, TikTok, Instagram, things like that, Facebook, the social platforms themselves are very hard to generate income on. You can utilize them as a hub to send people out to your other things, your Pinterest, again, your blog, your affiliate links. That way you can make income, but the platforms themselves are very, very hard to generate consistent income on. However, your search-based platforms, which my favorite is YouTube, Pinterest is great also. I also have a blog. You can put a piece of content on there and that thing can keep working hard for you. You can join something like the Amazon Influencers Program when you get some footing underneath you, and you can put a review video up there for a product that you use all the time, like your camera for shooting or something for your chicken coop. Or your knitting needles that you like. You can put a review up there and you can continue making money off of that 6 years later. You can put a YouTube video up, you can do a Pinterest pin, and you can continue to make money off of that one thing years and years and years and years later. And to me, that is truly passive income because you're really doing the bulk of the work one time, and then you're putting it out there and you're surrendering the increase and the fruit of that project that you put your heart into over to God. So having those priorities, deciding what we want to invest our time into and creating systems around that, deciding how we are going to generate community, what is going to be our central message, who is our person, who are we speaking to? And when we really understand the person that we're speaking to and why they're going to want to find the things that we're putting out there online, then the algorithm can much more easily find them. We can build community, and then we can have all sorts of streams flowing out into the ocean, flowing out into all of the other things that we offer. So if you utilize something like YouTube, you build that community, you find your ideal person, you take the proper steps so that the algorithm knows who to put your videos in front of. You build community with them. Now you have streams, you have memberships, you can have books on Amazon, on KDP, journals, notebooks. You can have streams out into communities. You can have affiliate links, you can have a blog, you can have all sorts of other things. You can even have a tangible website where you sell physical goods, or you have classes where you Skillshare. And all of those streams flow out. And the goal is that, again, you do the bulk of that work on a video one time, and then those streams, you have systems where those streams just continually flow like living water, and they flow out to all of your offers and all of the other things that you offer the community that you are building. And those things can continue to work for you when you have something come up that's unexpected, or in the years to come, so that you can be sitting and sipping your tea or coffee out on the patio and you can generate a sale from your digital product. And all of that can happen while you are actually able to live your life. So one of the misconceptions is that passive income means doing nothing. No, passive income means setting something up properly, doing it well once, and then letting it loose, and then generating income from that one thing that you put work into over and over and over and over again. And it is chef's kiss, beautiful. I want you to frame it like this. The goal is not passive income. The goal is assets that generate the passive income. And when we're focused on the assets, and we're focused on the asset being as helpful to the community that we are building as possible, the assets will naturally begin to generate the passive income. So we learn how to create the proper community and bring them to us. Then we create assets that are as helpful to that community as possible, because we're putting people over sales, purpose over sales, and we align that asset with that community and create a product or a community, a feature that is the obvious next step for our community, and then we generate the passive income, right? So this is perfect for business owners. This is perfect for homemakers. This is perfect for people who have a hobby or a passion. This is perfect for moms. This is perfect for people who want to make quiet income. It's perfect for people who are recovering from chronic illness. This is perfect for so many types of people that are just not, they just are not the hustle and grind people, but they're willing to aim for excellence. They're willing to build. They're willing to co-labor with God and make something meaningful. We don't want to be chasers. We don't want to be people who are constantly chasing an algorithm. We want to align ourselves, set ourselves up, and align ourselves in a way where these things come to us. And then when they get to us, we have the proper things in place that just make sense. I cannot tell you how incredible YouTube is as a community building hub. YouTube is a well, it is a fountain that can just create things endlessly over and over and over again for you. In my humble opinion, over all the years of doing this, over all the mentoring, all of the things that I've seen over and over, it works the best for creating that community, for conversion, for taking your community and converting them into customers, members, people that want your coaching program, whatever it is that you are going to offer them, people that are going to purchase your digital downloads. YouTube is incredible for community and conversion. So building an email list, building membership communities, having a YouTube channel, having a thriving blog where you are talking about something very, very specific that is on the heart of people. You are teaching them something very, very specific that they are wanting to learn how to do. Some sort of skill sharing. Pinterest, where you are using visual interest to bring people back to where you want them to go. These are all of the hubs, and all of the pieces work together to create an ecosystem, and that is how you actually build a brand, a kingdom brand, a business online that is multifaceted. You're not reliant on one platform, one social platform, where if they take it away tomorrow, everything falls apart. How many people on social media, how many influencers do you see where one thing falls apart and everything is shattered? I'm not in the mood for that. So I want to have a whole bunch of things in place where my people can find me, where I can contact them, where they can continue to get to where they need to go, even if one thing gets shut down for a month. And I don't want all of my income to suddenly fall apart because one thing decides to stop or there's one unexpected thing along the road. Decide who your person is. Decide who you're going to be talking to. What's going on with them. Get into as much detail as possible. Write it down. Who are they? What are you passionate about? What's your education? What's your hobby? What could you talk about all day long? What do you feel like you could teach a beginner? What type of social commentary is on your heart? What thing have you overcome that you could talk to people who are still 5 steps behind you on the journey or 2 steps behind you on a journey? You do not have to be an expert. I absolutely promise you that you have something unique about you that somebody is looking for. And do not worry about saturation. It is the Lord who prepares a table before you. And there is always room at the table in His economy. When He's called you to something, He's already made the room. He's already gone before you. He's already given you the place where your foot treads. So forget about that, because there's something inside of you that's been put there uniquely. There's something about the way that you deliver the visual, that you deliver the message. It's something relatable about you or unrelatable about you. There's something about you that's special that God can use to build. Figure out your person. What are you going to talk about and who are you talking to? Then you have to learn how to create that content. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be super professional. There are just certain key things that have to be in place. Then you are going to learn how to package that content properly so that the algorithm naturally knows exactly who to put it in front of. These are things that you can learn, I absolutely promise you. And I have people say a lot of times, oh, you're making money because you're teaching other people how to make money online. I was making a full-time income well before this channel, well before I started teaching other people how to do this. That was completely on purpose. I wanted to make sure that I was making a full-time income online before I started teaching other people how to do it. So I know that this is absolutely 1000% possible, and you don't have to start off with all kinds of special know-how and skills in order to make it happen. You're gonna figure out what you're gonna talk about, who you're gonna talk to. You're gonna learn how to position in front of that person. Then you're gonna learn how to package so that when that person finds you, it's packaged in a way that they want to unwrap the box. Then you're gonna learn what to put inside the box so that when they unwrap it, they take the bow off, they pop the lid off. The first glance inside the box, they say, boop, yep, this is what I've been looking for. I'm gonna stick around here. The algorithm's gonna pick up on that immediately. And again, these are all things that you can learn. Then you are going to rinse and repeat. And you are gonna do what I just said, and you are gonna do it with consistency. And we are gonna learn how to batch. And we are going to learn how to do this in a way where we are not hustling and grinding. Okay? We're gonna put the effort in. We're gonna aim for excellence. We're gonna put our heart into things. But there is no need or reason to idolize your own effort, to go into exhaustion, to hustle and grind, to be up till 2 a.m. Shenanigans. I call shenanigans. We don't need to do that to be successful. So you're gonna learn workflow. You're gonna learn how to set yourself up for success. I have a couple free resources for you. I have my YouTube starter checklist, and I also have my weekly business meetings with God download. Weekly business meetings with God has been something that has been transformative for me in my business. I also have a free Skool community called the Co-Labor Collective where you can get this download as well. If you head over to my Stand Store, you will find my 30-day online income clarity challenge. If you need to get yourself organized, your thoughts organized, you want to answer some of the prompts, you want to figure out how you are going to begin to organize your mind to get into a place where you can do a soft launch. You might find that very, very, very helpful. And then I have my YouTube Masterclass. And just a reminder, there is always a YouTube family discount in the description box for the Masterclass. And the Masterclass comes along with a private Skool community where you can post and ask questions, and I can check out your YouTube channel and I can walk this journey with you. The YouTube Masterclass is going to teach you all the things. It's all of the best stuff that I have learned over the years, all of the things that you need to know in order to have the most successful launch possible and to get your videos in front of the right person. I would love to be your YouTube coach. I would love for you to use my resources, but if not me, please go find the information that resonates with you. It's so important for us to continue to learn and grow, because if you just throw a whole bunch of your time and energy into things and you don't do it the right way, you can lose so much time. And sometimes when we're able to learn from the path of someone else, again, if it's not me, somebody resonates with you, learn from the path of that person. Maybe avoid some of the pitfalls that they've fallen into and get the best of that information. Grow, learn. There's so much that our minds are capable of. And allow God to grow you in wisdom. Learn the things that you need to learn. Utilize some of the free downloads, and you'll be amazed. I always say that we are being built while we are building, because the entrepreneurial process, if you're not growing while you're doing it, I'm not sure what's happening, because it's been one of the biggest growth experiences of my life, and it's a good thing. It will bring out some of the things in you that you need to work on, that you need to change, that you need to be refined in, and that is always a good thing. It might sting a little, it might be a little uncomfortable at first, but it is always a good thing. Once we learn those things, we are going to start with one helpful offer. It could be coaching. It could be a membership. It could be something on Amazon KDP. It could be an affiliate link or 2 or 3, but we're going to come up with one great offer that is the obvious next step for the community that you are building. And that offer is once you put the work into that and you make it something that's really good so that your community begins to trust you and they know that the things that you are going to offer them are going to be quality. And when that happens, they're going to come back for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And this is how you grow your ecosystem bigger and bigger and bigger. So I really hope that this was helpful for you today. This has been an intense few weeks, but I am so grateful to God for what He's shown me through this process, and that I was able to share this with you and show you that this is absolutely real and it's possible. I am nobody special, and if I can learn these things and grow in wisdom, so can you. And I truly hope all of the very best for you, that you would prosper and be in good health as your soul prospers. And God, thank you so much for being here. All of the information will be in the description box and pinned in the comments below. I appreciate you. I love you. Let's continue to build and be built. And Lord willing, I will see each and every one of you beautiful and precious souls right here on the next one. Bye, friends.